my book and wax friends. I am Amber. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Welcome back if you're returning. I post about all things bookish and home fragrance, and today's video is my books that I think will be 5 stars for the 4th quarter of the year. So my 5-star predictions, and for sure go back and watch how I did on my 3rd quarter predictions as far as 5 stars go. I did improve, I will say that, from the first 2 quarters. I did terrible the first 2 quarters. 3rd quarter was an improvement, so for sure check that out. I'll have it linked at the end of the video for you. But now let's see what books I feel like will be 5 stars for me from October's reads through December's reads. So it's a mixture of different things for sure. So the first one, no one's going to be surprised about this probably. If you've been with my channel any amount of time, you know how much I love Stephanie Garber's Once Upon a Broken Heart series. And I did enjoy her Caraval series. And so this was my most anticipated book of the year. And that is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. And this is the special Waterstones edition. So the covers for the US look completely different, but I much preferred the UK versions. So that's why I got this. So this is a treasure hunt of some sorts, about a girl who believes in magic, but everyone thinks magic isn't real. So it's like a magical realism type of story. And I'm excited. I feel like it'll be 5 stars. We'll see how that goes. So that is Alchemy of Secrets. The next one I do not have on me yet. I've requested it from the library, but that is Sipsworth. And this is by Simon Van Buy. And this is about an elderly lady who lives alone. And she doesn't feel like, from what I remember, doesn't feel like she has much to live for type of thing. And then a surprise shows up at her door in the form of a little mouse, a little pet mouse. This is what I've heard. And so I feel like it's going to be very heartfelt, very warming for the soul type of thing. And so I feel like it'll be a book that I will absolutely adore. So I feel that that will be a 5-star for me. The next one I have is Silverborn, The Mystery of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. And this is a library edition. Sorry for the glare. This is the 4th, I think it might be the final book in her Nevermore series. It is a middle grade, and it is magical and fun, has Harry Potter vibes a little bit. Of course, I don't want to spoil myself or you in regards to the 4th book, but I feel I've loved the other 3, and I feel like this one will be the same. I feel like it will be a 5-star for sure. So if you love Harry Potter or you love magical fantasy middle grade books, I for sure recommend the Nevermore series. It is a lot of fun. So that is Silverborn. The next one after that, I've had good luck. I've had good luck with Brandon Sanderson. I feel like this one will give me 5 stars, and that is Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, which is a standalone novel, and it's about, I've heard it's it gives Freaky Friday vibes from what I've heard. I don't know really much about it, but it's about a girl, a girl named Yumi, and she lives on one planet, and then the Nightmare Painter lives on another planet, something like a parallel universe or something like that, and they end up switching bodies or something. I could be completely off, but I thought that's what I've heard. Yeah. So anyway, I gave 5 stars to the first 2 books of the Mistborn series, and then Trust of the Emerald Sea was close to 5 stars. So I feel like this one is going to give me those 5-star feelings as well. So Yumi and the Nightmare Painter. Then after that is one that's carrying over from my third quarter predictions, because I decided not to finish it in September, but instead read it in November, because it was giving me more November vibes than September. And that is the classic Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And this is about Jane Eyre, and she is an orphan, and I know she ends up becoming a governess for a family. And I know there's mystery. I know it's gothic in nature. I know Jane Eyre supposedly really comes into her own as a character, and her growth. She learns to stand up for herself and that sort of thing. And then I've heard there's a romance in it as well. You know, I'm a fan of the romance because I have a romantic heart. So anyway, I've heard this is very good. I have read about a quarter of the way through, but as I said, I'm reading it in November instead, so it's carrying over. It seems like it has the potential to be 5 stars for me. So that is Jane Eyre. Then after that, I put Cat Dragon by Samantha Birch on the list. This is on my official TBR this month for the month of October, and I have started it, and is still giving me those 5-star feelings. This is a cozy fantasy, excuse me, about a witch who lives in this community called Tangleroot Valley, and in that community, they have cat dragons as familiars, and usually when they're kids is when they go to the cat dragon sanctuary or whatever it is to find their familiar, and they like bond with the cat dragon. Well, she's an adult now. She still has not bonded with a cat dragon, and a lot of other things end up happening in the story. I know it ends up being kind of a quest as well, but it is a cozy fantasy, and I'm pretty sure there's a little bit of romance in it as well. But I'm loving it so far, and I feel like it's going to be 5 stars for me. So Cat Dragon is the next one. The next one after that is Letters. I do not have the book on me. What is it even? Yeah, Letters from Father Christmas. I always want to say St. Nicholas instead. By J.R.R. Tolkien, who is one of my absolute favorite fantasy authors. Wrote my favorite fantasy series of all time, Lord of the Rings. Everyone should be familiar with him. He is my favorite, his Lord of the Rings series. And I started the book, The Letters from Father Christmas, last year, but I barely got through it at all, ran out of time. I had to return it to the library, so I was like, I want to read it for sure this year. I was loving the first few pages that I read last year, and I have a feeling this will be a 5-star read for me for sure. So it is about Tolkien wrote letters to his children as Santa Claus, as Father Christmas. So it's a compilation of his letters back to his children, and there's little illustrations in it as well. Whimsical Christmas cheer for sure, and I was loving it. So I feel confident that will be a 5-star book for me. So Letters from Father Christmas. Then after that, I do have another Christmassy type book, and that is Christmas with a Crank by Courtney Walsh. I have had really good luck with Courtney Walsh lately. I read her Can't Help Falling this month in October. Really enjoyed that one. I gave 5 stars to her Summer of Yes, which I read over the summer. I really love that one. And what would the The Happy Life of Isadora Bentley. That was another one I've read by her. So I've read 3 so far. I've really enjoyed all of them. So I feel like this one is going to give me those Christmas romance feels with a lot of banter and fun, but without spicy content in it. So that's right up my alley for sure. So I have good feelings about this one, that it is going to be 5 stars. The next one is from an author I have never read before, but I've heard really good things about this book, and it is called Town of Shadows. This is by Jessica Scarlett, and this one is giving me November vibes when I was reading the synopsis. This is about a girl. It is like steampunk-ish historical fantasy, and it has a mystery element to it. It has a love interest who starts out as not a love interest. I'm pretty sure it's like an enemies to lovers type of thing, or at least a very strong dislike to lovers type of situation with a lot of good banter and stuff. So that one is one I feel will be perfect for November and will give me those 5-star feels that I'm always chasing. So that is Town of Shadows. The last one I have is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. And this one checked all the boxes for me because it is a witch hunter book and enemies to lovers, and it is a marriage of convenience from what I've heard. I love all those tropes. And so I felt like this one is going to give me those 5-star feelings. And if so, I will continue the series. It is a trilogy from what I've heard. And yeah, this one I think is going to make the list as far as a 5-star book for me. So that's it, you guys. Those are all the books that I think will make it onto my 5-star list for the 4th quarter of the year. Stay tuned for the wrap-up, and of course stay tuned for the monthly wrap-ups that I do, and you can get a little sneak peeks as to whether any of these were actually 5 stars that I've predicted. So let me know down below if you've read any of these books first of all, and also what are some 5-star predictions that you might have. What are some books that you're hoping that are on your TBR that you're hoping will be 5 stars for you? Well, technically though, you always hope that every book you read is going to be a 5-star, but what are ones that you're like, oh, this one is going to be 5 stars for sure for me? So thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet for more book and home fragrance content. And until next time, I appreciate all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you soon. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.